Hello, YouTubers. Rosie Lentz here. A pleasure to connect with you. Our channel is about narcissistic abuse recovery. Thank you for subscribing, for listening, for tuning in this evening. I want to thank everyone for your comments and for being committed to your recovery from narcissistic abuse. If you're assisting someone in the recovery from narcissistic abuse, we can do a broadcast on that another time. But tonight I'm going to talk about how to avoid falling back into the trap of the narcissist. This is something, and this is an 18 plus show. Bear that in mind, okay? 18 plus, not for kids. But how do you prevent yourself from falling back into the trap of the narcissist? Or attracting another one, because there's a sequence of events with narcissism. You get out of one narcissistic relationship, and if you didn't have closure, this is so important, guys. If you didn't have closure from that relationship, and closure comes from you. It comes from us. It does not come from the narcissist. The narcissist will never give you the closure that you need, because that would mean that they had to admit that they did something wrong. They would have to take ownership for their actions. The narcissist is not wired to do that. The narcissist, once they were in your life for you to take the blame, shame, and guilt, for you to be the one that they could point to and have all their problems emanate from. One of the things that happens when you're in recovery or even maintenance from narcissistic abuse. Recovery is where you're still actively triggered. Maintenance is where you're aware of your triggers, and you're aware that it's going to take work to shift the energy of those triggers to be attracted to people that are healthy in your life. But one of the things that the narcissist depends on in terms of reconnecting to you or in targeting you as a supply, they look for people that are rescuers, empathic or rescuers, or people who are willing to step in and go, you poor baby, oh, you've been misunderstood, you have all these crazy exes, oh my goodness, how did you survive that? The narcissist is going to take advantage of your nurturing aspects to rescue. So here's some of the cues that you are going to be walking into a trap where a narcissist is trying to get to, shall we say, dial in to whether or not you are their next supply. Let's say that you meet someone, and within the first 2 days, the first thing they're asking of you is to give you a ride to the store, or to give them money, some money for gas, or they do, like, they spend a little bit of time with you, but they immediately begin to grease the wheels and to take advantage of you. Or you get a text message, oh, I've had the most horrific day. I had this happen to me. I need help. This is terrible. Okay, so now you know you're vulnerable. And this can be a friendship. It can be a romantic pairing. It can be a boss. It can be a coworker. But this is, the narcissist needs that supply. They have overlapping supplies because they're always ahead. They always have plan A, B, C, and D. They're always grooming their next source of supply. So chances are that if they're doing this to you, someone has weeded the narcissist out of their life, okay? And they're reaching out to you to take the place of the person that has so abruptly said, you know what, take ownership, you're on your own on this, okay? So if someone is coming to you and wanting you to nurture them, or saying, oh gosh, I'm so tired, I've had a really long day, my car broke down, my parents aren't helping me, I don't have a place to stay, and they're really, the time you've known them has been short. I know someone in the community and where I live, and I'm not going to give any names or genders here, but they take advantage of people in the area by using their mental pathology as an excuse for not being able to, firstly, pay for services. They're always, when they say they want to schedule an appointment, they're automatically assuming it's going to be a free service. They burn through all the doctors in town, all of the holistic healthcare practitioners, and it's like we all know now that if they're saying, hey, why don't you do this, or just stop by and we'll do this, well, there's a payout on this. They expect things to be free. They've had a tough life. They've had a recurrence of the pathology, whatever it is. They always have an excuse. Now, this person is a narcissist because they're taking advantage of people, and they inspire people or encourage people through their words, or their actions, through their social media posts, to be the victim. I'm a victim here. I need help. I need support. I can't do it without you, making you feel invaluable at the emergence of your connection. Boy, I can't believe I haven't met you before. I can really see how we can be a benefit in each other's lives, meaning that you're going to be a benefit in their life. They give as little as they have to in order to exact what they want. And when they're done with you, they're done. They've already moved on to their next supply. Don't rescue. If you feel like people are making statements like, and they'll be passive-aggressive, covert statements like, gosh, I'm here by the roadside with a flat tire, waiting for the tow truck, and I thought I'd call you. Aren't you like 10 minutes away from me? What do you think they're pushing for? And they keep texting you and texting you. Don't do it. You can say, hey, you've got the tow truck on the way. Let me know how that turns out. Because people they're testing you to see if you'll rescue them and if they can hook you and start using you as their next supply. That's the first caution. The second caution is to take a look at the type of people that you currently have around you. Are they friends that are new? Are you connecting to people who care and love about you? And if you notice the same usual crowd of people who are not meeting your needs, who are not listening to you, who are not caring about you, it may be time to clean house. Because one of those people could be a narcissist is like a frenemy, right? Of an enemy posing as a friend. They'll be a friend, and then they can turn on you in a heartbeat, and they're an enemy. And depending on the type of narcissist they are, they're going to use everything in the book that they can. Shame, blame, guilt, words, things like, oh, I should have really done this. I've kind of waited till the last minute. And they'll go into all of these details about something that you know nothing about. They won't have a context for it either. It's like giving you one piece of the puzzle and saying, oh gosh, here's this piece of the puzzle and it really upsets me. Well, the puzzle is a very complicated narcissistic puzzle. They're giving you one piece because they're trying to get you to bite and to be curious. It's not going to hurt you to pull back and to wait and to assess. So when you're in this very vulnerable state, having successfully left your narcissist, you're going through therapy, you're moving into maintenance, you're still vulnerable to a narcissistic person in your life, person or persons. The other thing that you can do to determine whether you are walking into a narcissistic situation is to look at their family. If you know their friends and their family, and take a look at them. Take a look at their social media posts. Take a look at everything that you can before making the decision to be friends with this person or to walk into this friendship, because they will gaslight you and say, oh, you're so beautiful and wonderful. In one case, I had someone who wanted to use me as supply, and they kept giving me presents. Now, I'm not the material girl, and I would say, I don't want any more presents. And they would leave something, or I saw this, I thought of you. Well, at the end of the day, when they needed, they wanted to have some sort of huge payout. What I did every time they gave me a present, if they wouldn't take it back, was I would go and give it to someone and say, hey, I'm cleaning the house. I thought you might like this. And I got rid of it. I wouldn't even keep it in my home. And I did block that person, and I did block them out of my life, because they were, and I won't use gender here, but they were a user. They used everybody. They bought people's attention, and then they exacted what they wanted. And if you didn't give it to them, they did everything they could to destroy you. Fortunately, I dodged that bullet. Happily. Because I saw the writing on the wall. Even when giving a present, I thought that I would give you this because I know that you like. So there's so many I's in the way that they talk to you, and they'll talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. There's no room edgewise for you to talk unless they're trying to gather information. We talked about record keeping. And in the case of some forms of narcissism, they record all the conversations that they have with you on the phone. You have to be really careful when you're in recovery. If a friend's really going to be a friend, or a romantic partner is really going to be a true and loving and wonderful romantic partner, they're going to demonstrate it in ways that are not over the top and that aren't taking any shortcuts. There are no shortcuts to long-term friendship. There are no shortcuts to a healthy long-term romantic relationship. And narcissists like to take shortcuts. They like to push things ahead that should be months or years down the road. So, if you're in recovery, and most of you are watching this, or if you're helping someone in recovery, encourage them to take a step back and to assess prior to getting involved. And as I've talked about before, you have to have a plan in recovery as well. Not just to leave the narcissistic situation, but in recovery. Remember, you have successfully escaped a narcissistic relationship. You don't want to find yourself back there again, because one narcissist leads to another one, which is worse, to another one, which is worse, to another one, which is worse. They get successfully worse, or worse in succession than the one before, till everyone can see what a massive narcissist they are. And the narcissist that plays the victim, if God forbid that you do anything to go against them, they're going to go around and they're going to trash your reputation, send in the flying monkeys. They're going to do things that compromise you. The best defense is to be cautious when you are putting yourself back out there with friendships. And remember, you have those two friends, or that person in your life who's brutally honest. Ask them what they think of this person, because they will recognize the traits of the narcissist, because they've seen it before in your life, and many times, chances are. If this is your family members, well, you know that you have to go to a friend or someone that you trust. So go slow, go easy. Focus on your healing and wellness. Focus on you. Whatever it was, whatever that is causing you to be vulnerable, that is something that you do need to focus on. Whatever low self-worth, lack of value, feeling unloved, feeling unseen, afraid to be seen, afraid of making mistakes, afraid of making people angry by not being perfect. If you find yourself apologizing all the time to people, you're still actively susceptible to narcissism. Play it cautiously. And the best course is always to work on you first. If you need reference to a therapist in your area, a support group, a book that you can read that would be helpful, a blog, whatever it is, I'm happy to help you. Please fill out the contact form on my website and I will get back to you. If you'd like to work with me, I'm happy to do so. You can also fill out the contact form and we can establish an appointment. Thank you so much. And if you need reference to an attorney in your area, I'm happy to research that for you as well. Remember, you've got this. Tag your it. You are strong, you are empowered, and you're free. Let's keep it that way. From me to you. Talk to you soon.